you.
Thank you.
Coach, if you want to introduce yourself and your players and make a comment about the game.
My name's Kenny Brown, head coach of Seminole High School, the 9A FHSAA 9A state baseball champs. And on my left, I've got winning pitcher Charlie McDaniel. I've got the best catcher on the planet, Sean McCardle. On my right, I've got the gutsiest shortstop, Greg Fonseca, who's on his second all-time press conference. Did such a good job the first time. I have Mason Mazzaredo on my right, who hit the shot that solidified our season. They're just unbelievable act of. Ball had wings, Maz. Because if it would have hit that fence and bounced back in, it was fair. We just had to play it off that one. That was the only part that was fair. You want a statement? Wow. Game of baseball is small compared to what a lot of people deal with in life, and I try to emphasize that. And winning a state baseball championship is the summit of your season. That's what every team strives to do every single year. But it's so small in comparison to life that you try to keep everything in perspective. And me personally, I know a journey of life that will take you to places that makes the game of baseball very, very small. So when I came back to this game, I wanted to make sure that they understood that this is a game that mirrored life. The life skills mirrored life, but baseball is not life. This is not life, but the games and the skill that you get, the lessons you learn from this, it mirrors life so well, because you're going to fail in life, and how you handle that failure is going to make or break you as a man. And we always would break before we would take the field. That it's something I did with my team at Oviedo back in '99 when Rick Eckstein was my assistant coach, and we would always say to the guys, "Are you going to fail today?" And they'd answer yes. And I'd say, "How are you going to handle it?" And they say, "Like men," and we'd take the field. And that was basically how we went with playing our game of baseball. And I think you saw that today when last inning we had a little bit of failure. We didn't panic. Greg threw the ball down, and all I did was walk out to the mound and tell him, let's play our game. So what? This guy's going to bunt the ball. We're going to get an out, and we're just going to play our game. We're not going to panic. We're not going to let the noise get to us. And they handle it like men, like they had all season. So how's that for a statement? Is that good?
Maz, can you spell your last name for us? We've seen a couple different spellings. I think
that's
I spelled it wrong on Twitter. My apologies. Oh, can you spell that for us?
Maza
Gotcha.
RREDO.
Okay, so just one Z then. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good.
And take us through that at bat. What did you see there? Once the ball hit the bat, then could you tell that it had some room to go yard?
I was looking for a pitch I could drive. My bat before that, I got fooled on a changeup that was down, and I just wanted to get a pitch that I could do damage with. And
What did you get? What did he throw you?
for the first pitch, he threw me a changeup, two changeups that were away and in the dirt, and then he left one over the plate. And I
change up over the plate?
I know, a fastball.
Fastball over the plate.
And then when you made contact, did you know right away, or did you wonder, is it going to make it?
I was thinking double, and when the ball left the yard, I was rounding second, and
It appeared to
Yeah,
bounce
well,
off the top. Did you see
yeah.
that? Did you see that?
Yeah, it got out.
That's all that matters, man. That's all that matters. How did you, describe your emotions as you're running around the bases? You see your teammates are fired up there in the dugout. I mean, just what was that like for you?
It was exciting. It was a close ball game the whole game. Every run counts.
Charlie, can you?
Your turn, Charlie.
Charlie, I mean, first, your coach 2 days ago called you loosely the best pitcher that no one knows about at this point. When you get a chance to pitch the state championship game, just what's your approach in the days leading up to that? How fired up are you about it? But then how do you also kind of keep yourself level-headed as well?
I mean, there's definitely nerves going into it, but I think that's with anybody that's pitching a state championship, whether it's me, Matt Allen, Clayton Kershaw, whoever it is. But, just staying in the moment, not letting the game get too big. I mean, coach has been preaching that all year. Don't let the situation of the game get any bigger than what it is. You're just out there playing our game, having fun, and I mean, they played a hell of a game, but I mean, you just had to stay focused on the moment, keep breathing, and just go one pitch at a time. Don't let it get too big. Stay calm.
Talk
Well,
about your
final-
your defense. Talk about the defense that you had behind you today. They made several double plays. This guy made that catch in the last inning, and then obviously you make the final defensive play. Just talk about the plays they're making behind you and how much did that help you being on the mound.
I mean, all season, I mean, we've had guys that have just, they say all the time that it's great when you have guys that are just willing to put their heart on the line just to play for you. And when you have that kind of respect, I mean, you feel like nobody can stop you on the mound. I mean, they come up to me, they're like, Chuck, I'll do anything for you, dude, on the field. And it's a great feeling knowing that they're willing to give their all for you behind you, and they just respect you that much. And I mean, between Craig Conk and Greg Fonseca, these guys are just, they play hard, they compete, and I thank them for just wanting to play so much and having that faith in me.
Okay, Charlie, can you take us through the last play now? What you saw in there? I mean, you see the ball looping over your head. I mean, and it looked like you stumbled. Just take us through the play.
I mean, not at bat. I was just trying to get weak contact or get an out, just keep the guy on third from scoring. And it almost just like froze when it happened. I mean, I just saw the ball almost in like slow motion when it happened. I stumbled a little bit because I think I was still trying to like finish my pitch or whatever, and I just didn't think. I just knew I had to go get the ball, just make the play, make the out.
I mean, you're aware if I don't get this ball, the game's tied. You're aware of that.
They hit the right guy. He's so athletic. He's agile. He jumps. He runs. He's just.
I wasn't that. Just that play, at least I was athletic.
Yeah.
Maybe not always.
I want to hear a little bit from Greg because you were pretty athletic out there as well today. Just talk about some of the opportunities that when the ball hits you and what you were able to do for your team.
I was just telling Chuck, throw it down the middle, throw it in the strike zone, let him hit it, and we'll help him out. The whole defense, we all came together and played well, played the way we played all year. Defense is key in baseball games, and
I think the key was that pick. You called that pick early in the game, and we picked that guy off at second base, and that was you. You know, and that was huge. That kind of was a punch in the stomach.
It's great knowing you have that kind of competitor behind you when you're playing.
Your third baseman on that play, man, that was a big play too. Reaching up with the line drive and doubling back to second.
Craig Conk is our linebacker.
Yeah.
You know, he plays linebacker, but he plays third base like a linebacker and competes and just gets after it. And he's just wow. It's my infield, my defense in the last 3 games were just stellar. That tells you exactly what kind of guys they are. They like he said, they go balls of wall. I'm sorry to say that, but for they'll do it for Charlie. They'll do it for Matt. They'll do it for anybody that's on that mound.
And what did you see from Charlie today pitching out there compared to what you see from him throughout the season?
He today had 2 more pitches than we had his last outing. He hasn't been able to throw the last couple of weeks. We've had Matt kind of going, and he's been able to go strong 7 innings, 6 innings, and we didn't have to bring Charlie back out. And for him not throwing in 3 weeks and ramping up his pitch count and still being able to keep his energy up and be prepared for this game is something else from him. And he was able to locate. He locates like no other, in and out, off the block. We weren't getting calls that we usually get. Umpires were squeezing us a little bit. And he was able to figure it out. He was able to know where he's got to pitch in the zone and then battle up in the zone instead of working down in the zone because the umpire was not giving us anything below the knees.
I think one of the things I talked about in the last conference. Sean McCardle calls everything. He runs the pitchers. I mean, if there's a college out there that wants an intelligent catcher who's going to get, he's not signed. He needs to go play. He is intelligent. He's hard work. He gets after his pitching. This guy right here, because of him behind the plate, we're sitting at this table. Matt Allen didn't call his game. Charlie didn't call his game. We didn't call him from the dugout. He called it. Sean called it. He's intelligent and he's tough. And we don't have to get after the pitchers when you have Sean. We don't have to control the pitcher's emotions when you have a catcher that walks out there and says, "You're getting squeezed. So what? We're going to work around this. Matt, you need to get more on top of this. They're going to pop it up. You know, that's the intelligence that Sean McCardle brings. And this is and I don't know what your average was going in there, but all I told him is we only need you when we need you, dude. When it comes into the district or the regional or the state, show up at the plate. All I need is what's going on behind the plate right now. And he did both. He showed up behind the plate and he showed up getting his hits. I mean, special. I can't emphasize enough how special this team is. This team has been. This has been if you could have been from day one watching where we are sitting right now, it's a book. I mean, it's a movie. It's really cool what they have done together, and how smart they are. Gosh, I'm blessed. I'm truly blessed.
Coach, talk a little bit about the respect that the two teams had for each other, because you could see it at the end of the game with everybody hugging each other, and you don't see that a lot in a competitive game like this where it's 1-0 and a team loses like that. So talk a little bit about just the respect you guys had for each other.
My sister sent me an article on this team we played, and I didn't know I really didn't know anything about it. I mean, as far as us going after, we'll call 3 or 4 people about a team, but I didn't know anything about the team. And she sent me an article that was done in Miami Herald, and it was about this coach who took over this team that was, I guess, perennial, bottom of the district every year. And then he had a 3-year plan, and he worked it, and it's this and this. And man, I got goosebumps reading it, and I thought, wow, here's a guy who is taking a group of boys very similar to me. He's giving them hope. He's not really so much doing anything but teaching just the basic game of baseball. And I knew that they were going to be a tough opponent because they played like we did. They played with emotion. Their coach had emotion, and they played for their coach like my team plays for me. They don't want to see each other fail, and I think that was evident, and it took a home run to make that the difference maker. And it's cliche-ish, but you say nobody, you don't want anyone to walk off, on the losing end of that. But that was fun. I had a lot of respect for that team, and that was sincere. And I told their coach at the very beginning, I don't know if he thought I was blowing smoke or not, but he's done. I like stories like that.
We have time for one more question.
I don't want to get you guys too emotional, but you talk about your story. You talk about the home run. I mean, you almost kind of got to think that somewhere from beyond, somebody was maybe blowing a little extra wind on that. I know if you guys don't mind talking about who you've dedicated this season to, and how you guys wrote this final chapter in that.
Charlie Schomer was our announcer. Charlie and I started teaching together when I started at Oviedo back in 90, and I had moved on, and he had retired and was the announcer for years I guess for baseball and stuff. And when I came back, I kind of, I wanted to I like to surround myself with people that are smarter than me. And I did that with my assistant coach, Kevin Wainscott. And y'all can find out who Kevin Wainscott is. He's one of the smartest, most successful high school baseball coaches around. And he was the first call I made. And called Charlie to come announce our games because I knew that he would be a professional. I wanted a professional announcing our games, and I wanted somebody I could trust. And I knew he would love these boys. He would love being a part of it. And he came up, and he right before our first pitch, I'd forgotten my fungo upstairs, which I never forget. And first pitch of our first game, and I found him where he had suffered some kind of medical emergency, and all I could do was hold him and just try to comfort him and tell him everything was going to be okay. And I was thinking, okay, well, we're about ready to play this game, and I got 70 scouts here, and how do I keep from panicking everybody? So I had to have him trust me that I would bring him help, and I had to leave. I didn't bring my cell phone or anything, and I had to go get help. And I just will never forget that. And this is a man I know would have. He ended up dying a couple weeks later. So I just know, in the back of my mind, I think that maybe what would have happened if I didn't ask him to come back. You know, would he be alive? You know, it's always bothered me. I tell these guys all the time. So I just told them, I said, you never know when it's going to go, man. You guys got to play. You got to play like it's your last day. Because it was Charlie's last day, that day that he showed up at the ballpark. And that could be anyone's last day that they show up at the ballpark. And I told people I was taking Charlie with me when we went to the regional. And sad story, but when you talk about divine intervention, yeah, you better believe it. I think that I think there was somebody behind that. I think that Charlie was behind a lot of stuff. And just for Charlie.
Thank you guys.
Coach, congrats.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.